I mean, I feel like I outgrew the city. I ain't gonna lie. Chicago was like a dying culture. Like, and it's not like a bad. I'm not trying to say we don't got no potential. None of this. We have potential. All the potential in the world. It's just we don't come together. That's what really be killing us. We don't come together. Tell the truth about me going home. Now, if you guys don't know, if you guys haven't watched my most recent video, if you guys didn't watch my past couple of videos of actually my vlogging and all that prank stuff and all that other stuff, you guys would have known that I went back home, and I went back home to Chicago, you know, so I went back home. And I just want to quickly just go over the things that I realized when I went back home, and just give you my experiences of what happens when you decide to go away for a while. You know, you go away, you try to venture off into this world, and you go back home to wherever you're from. It doesn't matter where you're from, but you decide to go back home to your place. Now, one of the first things that I noticed when I first touched down was, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm back home. I'm flying over the Chicago skyline. I'm about to be back home. Cool, all sweet. But then it hits me when I go back into my mama's house. I go back to my mama's house. I see everything, and I got taller. Everything's smaller. I see, you know, things in different places because they're getting ready to move. They're getting ready to move different houses. And I feel like off rip, just off rip, and I don't want to say things were different, but things were, you could obviously sense a little bit of, you know, just a little bit of difference in the area. And then I gradually go up the stairs, and then I see my grandma. My grandma, she lives with my mama now. And it's just like a lot of things will change. A lot of things are different. A lot of things are new. And it's just one of those things where me and just knowing my grandmother and things like that. It's one of those things where she would never want to ever be in that position where she would want to live with my mama. That's not how she is. And it's just like, it's like a shell shocker. And then I see my grandma, and it's like, when I see my grandma, that's when I originally realized how much time that's been missed. Like, it's been ever since I joined the Army. I joined August 2020. Ever since I joined the Army, I've been on constant go mode. I haven't been able to go home. That's one of the things that is just the fact that I had to come to realization is just like so much has changed in terms of just my grandma being there. It's like, wow, I've really missed a lot. Seeing her in the bed, you know, a lot of differences just with my grandmother, and it's just like it hits you like, you know, you really miss a lot of things. Then I realized like this Army thing, even though it's, you know, putting money in your pocket, you're traveling the world, you're doing all this other stuff, you realize when you go back home, just the small things, you know, they're small things, but they hit hard. So seeing my grandmother for the first time in over almost a year, it just hit hard, you know. And then fast forward, you know, I finally got to link up with my homies. Now, besides, you know, seeing my grandmother, everything, but that was probably the only sad thing. But when seeing, you know, for the first time, my homie's pulling up. My homie came to my crib. He pulled up, and if you guys watch the other videos, y'all see the video the in the prank. Y'all see the video that the car that I showed. It was the car, you know what I'm saying? When he put up, I'm like, is this a rental, bro? Ain't no way this is you. Because at first, I was just outside, just standing outside waiting for the car for him to pull up, because he said he was coming by soon. So he said he was coming, and then a car pulled up. So 2 cars passed prior to him coming up. The third car came, hold on. I had walked up slow because he stopped. He stopped right in front of my house. So I'm like, it gotta be him. But I'm cautious, I'm lurking, I'm looking like this, because it's like, I've never seen my homie drive this car. So when he rolled down the window and pulled up, I'm like, ain't no way, this gotta be a rental. And then we were laughing and stuff. I'm like, bro, you got a Camaro? Like, you got this? You got all this other stuff going on with you? Go crazy, my boy, go crazy. And that was one of the things. And the whole week itself was good. You know, I came on a Tuesday, turned up. We got an Airbnb on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We turned up. The whole weekend was good. The whole week was good. But then another thing I realized is just, it was a great weekend, but I feel like I did outgrow my city. I ain't gonna lie. And I talked to one of my other friends about this too, about, you know, just Chicago and the state of Chicago, and just how other people got content creators, they be in Atlanta, they be in Miami, but there's no good content creators in Chicago. That we got some content creators, but there's nobody who really paving the way. And I feel like people in Chicago, we should really try to pave a way for other people in the city so we can put back into our people's pockets and put back into our people to actually do our own thing. You know, we get so caught up with doing other stuff, other things, but I really feel like we could put our foot in the door when it comes to content creating. We don't choose to do that, and we really can do this, and we can take off with it, but we choose not to because we get caught up with other things, and I know how things get. But it really motivated me with this YouTube thing because it's like, I mean, I feel like I outgrew the city. I ain't gonna lie, because it's not much for me there. Just being honest with you, it's not much to do. It's not much for people to do in Chicago. That's just, if you're from Chicago, you get what I'm saying. Like, you just know the state of everything that goes on around the city. It's just, this like, I don't want to portray a bad image. Downtown Chicago is a different breed. I'm gonna just say that right now. Downtown, when I speak on Chicago, I'm talking about just everything besides just downtown. Chicago was like a dying culture. Like, and it's not like a bad. I'm not trying to say we don't got no potential. None of this. We have potential, all the potential in the world. It's just we don't come together. That's what really be killing us. We don't come together. That's why we don't have a lot of content creators. We don't have a lot of aspiring, you know, thriving people. We have people that come out the city and do their own thing. They turn up. They do whatever they got to do. You know what I'm saying? Turn up, go crazy, and rep the city or things like that. But we don't have things like Atlanta. Like, if you look at like big groups of YouTubers and you look at how they move and where they decide to live at, nobody ever says, you know, Chicago, Illinois. And I want to change that perspective on things like that. I want to change that perspective. I want people to be like, man, Chicago will be a good place to do content. Chicago will be a good place to do things like that, to turn up on this platform, and even beyond just YouTube, just in general, to turn up. Just I want Chicago to be looked at as a place where you can go, have a good time, turn up, and have some of the best content in the world. I want it to be like that. And I want to change the eyes of people who be watching the content, who watch my videos. I want to change the perspective on my city. And that's one of the biggest things I realized is just, when I went back home, I'm not going to lie, you know, it's not necessarily bad energy. It's not bad energy at all. It's just the energy of there's no creativity. And that's one of the things that was drilled in my head when I went back home. But I feel that we can bring that back, and I want to bring that back. And I just feel like that motivated me even more with this military, with this content. It made me want to turn up for my city and to put people back on. And I want to, hopefully my goal is to put people on in the city so they can start creating content. You can't force somebody to do something that they don't want to do, but I just want to open their eyes so they can understand there is better things to do in this world than just what you see in your neighborhoods. Because it's way bigger than what you just see in the neighborhoods. And I get it. I understand that things in the city happen. You know, you get sidetracked, you get things like that. It gets hard to stay on track with your content. But I want people to understand that Chicago is bigger than what you think it is. It's bigger than the image that you see on the news and everything like that. It's bigger than that. And I just want the whole world to understand that. And I won't stop. I'm gonna try to keep going for all of y'all who choose to watch my videos. And I want Chicago to be put on the map, for people to understand that content creators do come about the city, and not just any type of content creators, but some of the top tier content creators. And that's the goal. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, Javon Stories out.